Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today. Today is Thursday, June 10th, so hopefully you guys have had a good trading week so far, and the last couple of days are good for you as well. Just going to cover the disclaimers whilst we're on this screen. They should be there. There you go, being highlighted. Of course, important for legal reasons to read them and understand them. Essentially, it's telling you that this is a demonstration. It's up to you what you do with it. You can ignore it, you can take it on board, something in between, ultimately up to you. We are simply showing how we use the technology and how we think about the markets. So my name is Becky. I know you probably can't see it because my head is in the way, but my email address there is becky@tradictive.com. So you've got that. There's also this link here, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. I'll just show you what that is. For those that don't already have a free Trade with UFOs membership, you can go to that link and get it up here. Just fill in your name and email, follow the steps. From this link, you can also book one-to-one coaching with me if you'd like. But to me, the most important bit is once you've got your free Trade with UFOs membership, which, by the way, with that, you'll get recordings and reminders of the sessions that we do. You'll get this email that I'm about to go through for the market commentary every day. And you'll be able to come here and ask a question. Now, to me, that's great, because if you ask a question in a public space, then it can be answered in a public space. So rather than you send an email and we respond, which is great, we can do that. With that, nobody else can see the answer. With this, other people can see the answer, which means everybody else in the community is also learning from the questions that you guys have. So you can come down here, see the questions that have already been asked and the answers that are attached. You might already have the answer to your question there. If not, you can post the question and be doing somebody else the favour later down the line. So that's that link there, tradewithufos.com/Becky, and then start with getting your free Trade with UFOs membership and go from there. Now, like I said, with the free Trade with UFOs membership, you will get this Newsflash, this email every day. And of course, it's correlated to market data. So this email is sent out on a daily basis, and it has information and statistics on 5 of the major world markets. Now, we call it a 3D approach. Just move the mic there for a second. Call it a 3D approach because we go through 3 different elements. Makes sense, right? So first things first, we look at market climate, upcoming market direction. Essentially, where do we have probabilities, up or down? Which means, do we buy or sell? Or in other words, do we go long or short? Now, in order to figure out where we have probabilities up or down, or sometimes nowhere, we use an app called AutoClimate, which is this app here. Ignore the lines right now, just focus on the dots. So just focus on this bit here, just down here, the dots. This app, which by the way is a free app that you can download, just go and get your free Trade with UFOs membership and then go from there. You can add the free app from there. This app tells us where the probabilities lie. It's really helpful because it saves us having to think about it ourselves and work things out ourselves. It will tell us where the probabilities lie. So if it's a thick blue dot, it tells us probability upwards, look to buy. If it's a thick red dot, probability downwards, look to sell. If it's a thin dot of either colour, slightly harder to see, but there are dots that are slightly thinner. Those thin dots tell us not enough probability either way, do nothing. So we have a very easy 1, 2 or 3 answer. Probability up, probability down, or not probabilities either way. Buy, sell, do nothing. And we have a piece of technology that answers that question for us. Then we want to know, if we're going to buy, where are we going to buy? If we're going to sell, where are we going to sell? And that's where our entries and exits, our unfilled orders come in. You see it there, it says unfilled orders. That's what these little things on the chart are. So we've got this one here, which is a green UFO, which means they are buy orders. We call them UFOs, by the way, stands for unfilled orders. So when we have buy orders, it's helpful to know, because if there's loads of buying going on, we want to be buying with that. Because the more buying happens, the more likely it is to push price up. Price only ever goes up because there's more buyers than sellers. Same the other way around. If we're selling, we want to sell where there's lots of others selling. Price only ever goes down because there's lots more sellers than buyers. It's just the way it works. So we want to know where those sellers and buyers are, which is why we use AutoUFOs to show us on a price chart exactly where they are and tell us the prices. Tell us the price range where we find these buy and sell orders. If we look at this example that we have here, we had buy orders sort of around here, and price came in and moved up from there, pushed price upwards. That's exactly what we wanted to do. We want to know with our UFOs that that's the price we should be buying at, and if we have, we would have seen that go up. Price came back down and moved out again, came back down and moved out again, pushing it up. That's what we want it to do. On the flip side, these sell orders, price came in here, touched the stack of sell orders and came down. It pushed price down, and great, we want to know exactly where the prices are that we want to be selling at so that we can either get out at that point or get into a short at that point. So we look at our UFOs as well. Then we have market volatility. Essentially, how quickly are these markets moving and what's the associated risk and reward. So we'll look at that per market. Now we're looking at daily charts of all of these markets. Of course, different things happen on different time frames, but we are looking at daily charts for this one. We're also looking at futures charts for them, so the continuous futures chart. Essentially, if you don't know what futures are, we're essentially looking at representations of these markets. So first things first is the S&P. S&P 500 is the top 500 US stocks, and that's what we're looking at here. So the US stock market in general has an unconfirmed climate. I know it's slightly hard to see, it looks like it's blue, but it's a thin dot. That tells us not enough probability either way, do nothing. Change time frame, change market. So overall with the S&P at the moment, not enough probability either way to call it. With buy and sell UFOs, we have buy orders here at 41.85 to 41.42.50. And again, they've already, price came in here and moved up a little bit after hitting the stack of buy orders. Again, that's what we expect, which is why we want to know where they are. It does us the favour of telling us exactly where to get in. So at the moment we have buy orders beneath us, which is probability upwards, but the climate is unconfirmed. So overall, not enough probabilities, as far as I'm concerned, to be getting involved in this market on this time frame. I would change market or change time frame. Now volatility, we would expect in a year that price would move up or down 17.71%, which means in a day up or down of 47.10 points, in a week up or down of 103.69 points, and in a month up or down of 215.85 points. That would be the volatility that we would expect based on the VIX there. Now these are movements up or down, and they're kind of predictions rather than, or expectations rather than definitely going to happen, right? All of these things are probabilities, not definites. So we manage our risk just in case. As far as volatility goes, again, this shows us up or down. We'll use our climate and UFOs to help us figure out in which direction that's more likely to happen based on probabilities. For the time being with the S&P, maybe slightly more to the upside, but overall not enough probabilities to call it. Change market, change time. Okay, next market would be oil. In the meantime, it says there about looking to educate yourself. We do many courses on stocks, futures, forex, trading plans, backtesting, psychology. Now you can register for those, just click on that link and register for those there. Even if you don't want to take a course, but you want to use the apps, you want to get the AutoUFOs, the courses, or most of the courses, come with 3-month complimentary access. Now AutoClimate is a free app most of the time, depending on which platform you use, but most of the time it's a free app. AutoUFOs is a paid for app. Depends on where you look at it, but on TradingView it's $34 per month. Now some of our courses are a one-off fee of $34 or a one-off fee of $89. So if you do the maths on that, getting 3-month complimentary access to the UFOs with a course works out to be cheaper than just get the UFOs by themselves for 3 months. So even if you don't want to take a course, that might be a cheaper way to get the apps. But ideally, if you want to take a course, then great, go and take one that suits you best. Okay, so oil. We have a confirmed upwards climate here. Thick blue dot. Probability upwards, probability that it continues upwards. Now, based on what usually happens, this market would usually go up for 6.46 candles. I'm going to round that up to 7. It normally goes up for 7 candles, and we're on candle number 12, which means we have gone quite a bit past what is usual in terms of a move to the upside, meaning it's less likely to keep going up. Still overall probabilities upwards, but not as many as we'd like. Now, when it comes to buy and sell UFOs, this might be what changes it soon. We're very, very close to hitting this stack of sell orders. It looks like we've just hit them, but I think we missed it by a tiny tick there. So we have sell orders just there at 72.70 to 70.64. If price were to come up and touch this stack of sell orders again, we would expect price to be pushed down from that point. So that might be what stops that climate that's already overextended. We have buy orders here, 68.87 to 65.25. So we do have sell and buy orders really close to each other. We do have a confirmed upwards climate though. So overall probability up for the time being with oil, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that change soon, considering it's already gone way past what's normal. Now with volatility, we would expect in 1 year that oil would move up or down 31.79%, which means in a day, up or down of 1.40 points, in a week, up or down of 3.09 points, and in a month, up or down of 6.43 points. Again, that's up or down. We use the climate and UFOs to help us figure out in which direction. Overall, still probability up with oil, but looking to see that change really if it hits this stack of sell orders and comes to the end of what is already an overextended climate. Okay, so like I said just before we move on, you can subscribe directly to the UFOs if you want to, so you can click on that depending on which platform you use. You could use TradingView, TradeStation or MetaTrader. They're all different prices. Remember that they also come complimentary for 3 months as part of the courses. Okay, oh, that was weird. There we go. Let's have a look at gold. Okay, so with gold we have, again, a confirmed upwards climate, although I'm looking at it now, I'd expect to see that change. We have a confirmed upwards climate, thick blue dot, probability upwards. However, price has just taken a sharp move down, and by the looks of it, I wouldn't be surprised to see that tomorrow it's either unconfirmed or a downwards climate. Now normally this market would go up for 6.14 candles. Again, I'm going to round that up to 7. We're on candle number 4, so in theory we do have room to continue to move up based on what usually happens, but based on price action right now, I would expect that we'll actually see a change of climate by tomorrow. Now buy and sell UFOs, we have buy orders here at 1847.1 to 1808.4, and sell orders up here of 1962.5 to 1938.4. Kind of not close enough to either stack at the moment for them to change things. Of course, new orders could come into the markets, but for the time being, here with gold, we do have probability upwards, but I would expect to see that change tomorrow. We'll see, and maybe if we hit the stack of buy orders, it push it back up again. For the time being, I would kind of keep away from that, looking at it, assuming that it will change its trajectory. Now, volatility, we'd expect in a year movement up or down on gold of 15.43%, which means in a day up or down of 18.3 points, in a week up or down of 40.29 points, and in a month up or down of 83.86 points. So again, that's up or down for the time being. Probability up still with gold, but again likely to change based on what I see there. Coaching and support that you can join us with. Of course, you're probably accessing this for free on YouTube or Facebook, and you'll see if you have a look through those channels, we do a whole bunch of stuff for free that you can join us on. We also have a closed coaching community, which is $21 per month. You just get access to more of our time in a closed environment. Either one is fine, whatever's right for you. So check that out if you want to, or join us on YouTube and Facebook. Okay, next market, which is the dollar. Now, we looked at this at the start just to give us a example of UFOs. So like we'd already seen, we have our UFOs here. This one 89.795 to 89.165. We already seen that it's worked a couple of times now to push price up. Sell orders here 90.91 to 90.575. That's already worked to push price down. Again, we have buy and sell orders close to each other, sort of fighting with each other, and unsurprisingly that means we have an unconfirmed climate. So not enough probability to call it on the US dollar on this particular time frame. You could change time frame or change markets. The buy and sell orders are, both of them are working to push price where you think they would go. In the end, one of them's got to win. So I would wait for one of them to win and wait for that climate to confirm before jumping on anything. Now, volatility on the dollar, less volatile than the others. We would expect in a year it would move up or down of 5.59%, which means in a day up or down of 0.32 points. In a week it would be up or down 0.7 points, and in a month up or down of 1.45 points. So again, overall not enough probability to call it with the dollar at the moment. Change time frame or change market. Okay, last market, which is back to Bitcoin. So let's put that on the screen there. Back to Bitcoin. So it's interesting what we have here. So we have a confirmed downwards climate, thick red dot, probability downwards. However, a new stack of buy orders has just come into the market. So let's just highlight that there. We have buy orders that have just come in at 33,785 to 31,000 even. So we've had buying come into the market, which has pushed it up a little bit here. And we have sell orders quite a way ahead of us at 51,782.5 to 46,807.5. So we may be seeing a change in direction with Bitcoin to see it move up, at least for a little while. But for the time being, still probability down overall with our climate. But that new stack of buy orders has kind of perhaps come in to change things. So we'll see. Now with volatility, a lot more volatile than the others. In a year, we'd expect movement up or down of 98.9%, which means in a day, up or down of 2,387.69. In a week, up or down of 5,256.26, and in a month, up or down of 10,941.78. So, a lot more volatile than the other markets. Be aware of it. Not a good or bad thing, is what it is. The more volatile something is, the more risky it is, but the more reward it could have. The less volatile something is, the less reward, but also the less risk. So up to you to decide what's right for you there. Now, we have our economic calendar here as well. This helps us to figure out, we filter here by high impact news. It's the FX Street calendar, so you can check that out, go to their website. We filter by high, particularly care what the news is, but because if we're going to have high volatility news or high impact news come out on the markets, it will often increase volatility. So just be aware of it. So today being Thursday, we would have had news already come out on the euro that might change things, US dollar as well, just about, and later on as well with the euro with G7 meetings. So again, be aware of those news articles that are, or news reports that are already scheduled to come out that could create volatility on the markets that you trade. Now, if you have any questions, you can schedule a clarification call with one of our experts, talk coaching membership, see what one works better for you, if any. You can also email me if you'd like, becky@tradictive.com, or like I said at the start, there is this link here, tradewithufos.com/Becky. Get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership, and then you can either book one-on-one coaching with me if you'd like, or you can come and ask a question in a public space and I can answer it publicly so that we all learn from it and everybody sees the answer. So I'll be back tomorrow morning with the market commentary for tomorrow. Hopefully this made sense today. Again, any questions, hopefully you know the routes to reach out to us. I will see you tomorrow. Hope you have a great trade.